Hello there and welcome to the new channel.
Here to help you see
The new you.
My name is Carmine Ortega.
Dennis Calamba.
This is Nato Agbayani.
My name is Juan Lu.
I'm Chino.
I'm Trisha.
This is Apple Manansala.
This is Attorney Carlo Ibanez.
This is Attorney Sheila Santiago.
This is Angie.
Yes, Argamin.
My name is Dante Salama.
This is Jesse Francis Rebustillo.
I'm Dania Cunha.
Mon Mendoza.
I am Mapet Erhino.
I'm Leo Bryan. Mike.
Nice one, beer.
Sir Al Ian Barcelona.
Marvin Salazar. This is Sunny Haldons.
Heidi Lumainos.
This is Ivan Jude.
Patrick Geronimo.
Alan Perez.
My name is Erwin Ursua.
My name is Bob.
My name is Lloyd Luna and this is
Future.
The Talk.
Family Business.
The Puppet Stories.
Aftershift.
PNC Town Hall.
YOLO.
Marketplace.
The Home Buyer.
HR Hotline.
Danny Art Show.
Hotline.
Foreign Affairs.
COVID Stories.
Awesome Day Show.
Thank you.
Money and more.
Cybernext.
Women at Work.
Win Within.
Port Project.
The Big Picture.
Sometimes life lets you down and you feel that you are done. You just want a morning run because the fun is all gone. But sometimes life makes you proud when you look far and wide, when you leave the pain behind and see the brighter side. TNC gives you inspiration. TNC reignites your passion. TNC starts your transformation. TNC helps you see the new you. Sometimes life makes you blind and you choose something bad. You just wanna cry and hide and save your face from the crowd. But sometimes life makes you see the beauty in you and me. When you look up above, there is God and there is love. TNC gives you inspiration. TNC reignites your passion. TNC starts your transformation. TNC helps you see the new. We're here to help you see the newness of life. We're here to help you feel your hope is so real. You got the power to see. We'll help you see the new you. TNC gives you inspiration. TNC reignites your passion. TNC starts your transformation. TNC helps you see the new you.
The new channel. The new channel. The views, opinions, and insights expressed in the following show are those of the hosts, producers, guests, and viewers. They do not necessarily reflect the position of the channel. Viewer discretion is advised.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the new channel. Here to help you see the new you. This is Jesse Francis Rebustillo, your host to this wonderful program, the HR Hotline. Allow me to fix my lapel because I am again here in my living room, and before I was on broadcast, my dogs, Monina, is actually quarreling with Remedios. These are the names of my pets. And of course, this is their space, and I'm actually invading their space. So Jojo was telling me that they should be outside, but I told Jojo that I am the one invading their space. And I was informed by director that it's a little bit bright because I don't have curtains. After Christmas, I removed the curtains, so it's a little bit bright. But again, I am with my Mother Mary and the Sacred Heart of Jesus. This is a Thursday. It's a wonderful Thursday. This is the eve of the Chinese New Year. And the animal that is actually represented now of the 12 animals in the Chinese zodiac sign, it is the bull. So I just hope that there is a pinch of Chinese blood in me, that the new year, the Chinese lunar year, will bring us a better situation, a better condition, or a better life. Anyway, so this is the day that we actually dedicate to what we call the intention of HR Hotline, which is actually consultation. And I invite friends of mine to join me to share in the comment section. What you can do is also share it so that there will be many here on some problems that I have listed. And then we share, because later on, this program is also shared. Then they can read what are the insights. Hello, we have here our friend Jennifer Nuya. Yes, and this is telling us, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Yes, that is now the new normal because you do not know what time they're going to be watching. And also at this time that we are on the live stream, there are different time zones. There are times that we have viewers from the States. Then we have here, Ma'am Rina Rivero. Yes. So we have Rina and Jennifer. Can we have more so that we will know how many are we here? My friends of mine, I have two issues here that I would like for us to converse through the comments chat box. Who are here? Then we have Carmine. Oh, Carmine, I missed you, but you were there in our in the free learning session of POPs. That is actually the fourth, and you know I am enjoying it. I am enjoying it, and this will be continuous for up to August, and maybe until such time that we run out of topics. Or would you believe that in POPs, I'm actually the one doing, I would like to discuss about expertise, not more than eloquence, expertise, ethics, and extension. Then I already have materials up to June. I actually gathered it from my communication and presentation skill. So if you're a member of POPs, from my own little way, I will be sharing a lot. If you know it, then you're mastering it. If you don't know it, then it will be an additional. So we have here Carmine, Rina, and Jennifer. These are all wonderful ladies of POPs. I think we are actually many already, but maybe no who are here. So let us shoot the issue or the problem, and then we'll get the insight. These are real issues. You know, I teach in PMAP, that's a People Management Association of the Philippines, in their certification program. And I'm also a trainer in ECOP, and I do also. Right now, I just came from a webinar, and this is basic supervisory. So I have students, and this is where I get the issues that are discussed here in HR Hotline. So the first one, so we have a crowd already here. How do you get, so this is on acquisition, in particular, recruitment. Or let me first, in my own little way, give an overview. Before it was just recruitment, but you know, as we perfect our job in HR, we identified the right term for that, and that is actually acquisition. Hello, Josie, we missed you. Okay, acquisition. So acquisition starts from sourcing. Not even sourcing, you even have to go beyond it. I would like to get your insights on this. Rina, I would like to get your insights on it. First, you must be an employer of choice. In my own little way, that is my understanding. That means that the industry respects your company. You have a nice ring. You can be recalled. You have a nice brand. You project an organization that people would like to join. Then after that, you start your acquisition program, and you start with sourcing. For BPOs, this is very important. I am not trying to manglait. Say you are looking for a critical position that will involve trust and confidence. You have to look for people coming from places wherein you expect that they're breeding, they're used to. So that is actually used to be, they can be trusted. So one is, where do you source? There was a time when I was younger that I only get for technical and supervisory positions graduates from good schools. I was very discriminating. I was discriminating. So these are only the UST, the Ateneo, but you know, later on, when I was in Inquirer, I found out that you can find gems and good materials coming from colleges, from Laguna, there is a good school in Bataan. So sourcing is very important. Then, after sourcing, you start the recruitment. You ask them to come. Then after that, you go into the selection process, the interview, the testing. And then after that, you try to go into the decision. Now, before you go into the decision, this is the problem. Before you decide. By the way, I would like to add, it's not even the trend. The proper way to do is that HR just facilitates. But the one who should decide on who to select, who to employ, should be the supervisor. The supervisor. Ophel is here. Can we spot on Ophel? She's saying something. Today, the reality is that we have to welcome diversity, as this allows us to evaluate candidates coming from different backgrounds, schools, experience. You can then select the best of the best. And there is also coming from, we go back to Ophel, from Josie. Can we go back to Josie? Wow, you're indeed very generous to share what you, everything is a process, no instant. You have to be generous to share what you have in life. Thank you, Boss Jess. But Josie is saying here also, everything has a process, no instant if you want a success to last. But let's go to Carmelito first, to Engineer Garcia. See, I am stalking you, Engineer, and you're so successful. Aside from your singing stint, I guess what is the best HR transformation, which is very important, appropriate during this crisis, and with this virtual trend system. Oh, we'll go into that. That is a question that Engineer Lito is giving us. What is the best HR transformation? We'll go to that. But we have a, yes, after the break, that is our discussion, Engineer. But let's go back to Ophel. Ophel is actually starting the conversation. Today, the reality, nabubulol ako ha. The reality, because it's Ophel, and when it is Ophel, you have to, you speak properly. She's very, very keen on grammar and pronunciation and enunciation, and that is my friend. Okay, Ophel. The reality is that we have to welcome diversity, as this allows us to evaluate candidates coming from different backgrounds, schools, experience. You can then select the best of the best. Okay. The question is, how do you spot an applicant with the X factor? Okay, so I would like to read your insights on this. So HR was already able to, what do you call this? Recruit, then do the selection process, then came up with a, what do you call that? Short list. And usually the short list is from 3 to 5. Just like in a beauty contest. So, actually, the one who is asking this is Juan. The question of Juan is, how do you spot an applicant with the X factor? And I think the problem here is sometimes you do now what you call virtual interviews. I think, hindi na nasabi, pero I think, I'm assuming that is why she's asking this, because it's not face-to-face anymore. So she's trying to ask me, what is this? Okay, everybody here, we're already many in the group. Can you tell us, how will you really get the X factor? It's just selecting your husband. If you have 3 boyfriends or 3 girlfriends, wife, what is the X factor that is needed? Ophel, can you help me here? Okay. How really can you get the X factor? Actually, in the acquisition process, it has to be competency-based. Diba? So you have the list of competencies, which should be the basis for the interview, which should be the basis of the qualification standard. Not the fleecing, not the fleecing personality anymore, but there should be it's competency-based. So what are the competencies required for the job? You select the top 5. Maybe there should be what we call excellence, a technology savvy, can be presentation skill. And then when you try to look for the applicant, you try to, those are the criteria, and you try to select in your short list if the applicants, if the applicants satisfies the required competency. But the question is, how can you spot? Rina here has something to say. Thank you, Rina. Can we spot on Rina? Focus on Rina's comment. Direct. Rina Rivera. Really depends on the competencies you are looking for and whether they have provided insights and have shown the competencies during the interview. Pero Rina nga, this is even more. So, all of them have pacetis paribus, ang lalim ng ano ko ha, that is economics, and the same qualification, but you will like to know that factor, the the X factor. Josie, can we go spot on Josie? The new, okay, that is, thank you, Josie. Ophel here has something to say. Ophel, people interviewing must learn to be as objective. That's right. Because actually this is not the problem of the applicant. This is the problem of the HR. You're right, Ophel. People interviewing must learn to be as objective as possible and manage their biases so they can get the best candidates. Oh, that is a given before you come up with a short list. Am I right, Ophel? That you have to be objective as possible and manage your biases. Kasi tao lang po. The one who is actually in charge of recruiting must really have nice emotional intelligence and must be able to be as objective as possible in coming up with a short list before they give it to the requesting party, that there are no biases based on the competencies, as what Rina also mentioned, as I mentioned also. But the question is, what is it for us, citizen? What is it, or what criteria to really zero in? What is it in us that we know that this person has the it, Or this can even be for succession planning. So you have a number of potential employees and you would like to know. Okay, can you spot on Rina's answer? The last one, after Ophel. Rina, the one below, the new one. There is one. Apart from skills and competencies matching the job requirement, looking at the culture. Yan. Kaya, we have seasoned HR here. So aside from the competencies, I will share this to everybody. Aside from the competencies and matching the job requirement, first is culture and values. So this can be one of those. One is try to match it to the culture of the organization, and that is also another problem. The one is interviewing it must know what is the culture of the organization, and the other one, the values. Oh, this is not the problem of the applicant. This is what Femery has been telling us in what we discussed in what you call it, the framework, the discovery stage of the person, his breeding, his DNA, the values that that the person is carrying. Will it match? And maybe siguro, Rina, the interviewer must have the eye and the sense that she must be able to gather this, what do you call that? There is a term for that in HR. Signals? No. Red something, red flags or signals. Jennifer here has something to say. As hiring manager, I follow the STAR framework during the interview process. If the applicant mentions a project where he or she has displayed the required competencies, approved for situation, yes, the task, the result, and the alternative. This is competency-based interviewing. Situation, task, action, result, and alternative action if result has not been expected. And that is one way. Very good. From Rina, it's the culture and the values. And from Jennifer, this is actually experience. So there should be a real experience that she must show that she has that competency, and that is skills, knowledge, and attitude. Then we have Rina here. The hiring manager must know how to really pinpoint what they're looking for. For objectivity, the usual rating sheet you use during interviews. Sometimes you also trust your gut feel. Ito yung gusto ko kay Rina. For women, it should be intuition. For men, it should be gut feel. Whether the person will fit the culture. And this is what we call, Rina, and as I was sharing, yung clinical eye. Diba, you have the nose and the clinical eye. And the people will work for it. So actually, the issue is not on the applicant. The issue is on us, the training manager. The training manager must have the feel of the organization so that he can have that clinical eye. Yung parang isang tingin mo na, alam mo na, ay ito, magnanakaw ito. Ay ito, sanggano na ito. Ay ito, bakit mo nasabi yon? Deep in you. Enhanced emotional intelligence. Di ba, Rina? I hope we are in line of what you just mentioned. This is actually your objective, of course, but sometimes you trust your gut feel. Ophel has something you can spot on Ophel. Nice conversation here. It is just me, but I always look for the most honest candidate. Ophel, I really love you. Totoo. And I will add, hindi lang honest. Ano ngayon? With integrity. The one that doesn't try too hard to impress during an interview, but sincerely demonstrate experience and values that I am looking for. Yes, this should be actually a fail. You should really share this talaga. Kasi a lot of training what they call this, recruitment managers miss this. One doesn't try too hard to impress, and during the interview, sincerely demonstrate experiences. And that is a star, what was discussed by Jennifer. But I like it. Yung doon sa integrity, yung, di ba, yung aking definition of integrity is, you achieve what is expected from you. So we must be able to squeeze and gather from the interview that what is she really presenting is something that she has done. The competencies can really be felt, she can really express the competencies. What else here? So, the attitude of an individual. Ang haba na, can we go up direct muna before Josie? We might miss some points. The attitude of individuals counts. Jennifer, from the answer of the candidate, I can ascertain whether he or she only fudging the achievements written on his. We really have to be careful. A lot, it's a sweeping statement. It's a general statement, but a lot of people now sometimes, they're just so good in their logo, in their brand, in their branding. And it's their marketing style. But the reason for this, schools teach them to look for jobs. I am also invited, and I teach them how to really present themselves well. So now the recruitment manager must be able to really discern if the person is just doing marketing or just selling himself. They can give you numbers. I know of a lot of managers, a lot of people in the industry. They talk of numbers, but actually it's more on the impact, not on the result, but on the impact. So Josie, both on the interviewers and the early warning signs. Okay, I'm sorry if I missed some of your discussion because what is in the comment section? Can we go up a little? I can do this. From the answer of the candidates, did I miss anything? Rina, hiring manager. So let us go to the next one. We can always select well if we go to an interview prepared. So a fellow is the one prepared. The recruitment manager, structured Q&A and used consistently for all candidates. So that, tama, so that you can be consistent. Avoid questions that do not have any relation to the job. O nga naman. Parang you're asking them what they have done and you ask, mainit ba sa labas? Ay, ano ba yun? So where are you going to eat lunch? You're asking them, that is good. So you were able to come up with a nice presentation. Can you join me for lunch? Ay, ikaw yung may diferensya. Tama si Ofer, behavior-based. Past behavior dictates future behavior. Nako, Joanne, ang dami mo nang makukuha nito. From Grace, welcome back, Grace Moniz Desene. HR should list down powerful questions. Kaya nga prepared. Right. Do a situational interview, yung STAR interview. Give actual situations that are happening in the industry to see the thought process of the candidates. Okay. So with that, siguro makikita mo kung may X factor siya. No? Thank you, Jennifer, for reminding us about the STAR technique. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Fel. Very nice. So let us continue. Okay, Jennifer. Additionally, direct and spot. Additionally, I asked him or her to recount the highlights and lowlights of his career. Yun na nga, baka marketing lang, baka make-believe. Kaya really, by right, dito nyo nagsabi na you really have to come prepared. You really have to do your intelligence. Ang laki ng intelligence fund mo tapos mali yung lista. Nako. Based on his or her response, I know whether the person is humble, when he succeeds and persistent when things don't go his way or her. So actually, the issue here, the problem here is on how the recruitment manager craft her questions. And I think as all of us here must be able to share this with them. Jennifer, attitude determines the attitude. Attitude determines the altitude. Yes. Yun ang sinasabi ko. The intelligent person understand, and that is ascendancy. Ang matalino nakakaintindi. So, attitude determines the altitude. So, we have here, from Engineer Garcia, I used to hire a not so competent applicant, but find to have great potentials to be developed fast to the company's asset. I did that also, engineer. Because early on in my career, as I mentioned, I was just looking from the good schools, the exclusive schools. But you know, later on in my life, by oras, when you really have to go into yung may potential, as long as you have the technique and how to really identify them, yung mga, yun na nga, yung medyo average lang or above average. Di ba, you know the 9 bucks that we use in succession planning, wherein you recognize the performer, the potential, di ba? Yun. Although it's not nice that we are judgmental, but at least that is a guide. From Grace Manis Dicena. In addition, it is good to keep your HR network so you can do an objective background check. Yun na nakakalimutan. Di ba? Which is why you have to join PMAP, you have to join PSTD, you have to join POPs, so that you may know background. You can ask, refer. From HR to HR, you can get authentic feedback. And I think even in your sourcing, you can just ask referral. One can only do such thing during interviews. Thank you, Grace. Let us go to, hi, Sir Bong is here. My idol is here. Nako, my idol is here. From the plants. Alam mo, seldom on Sundays I listen to blogs. Ladies and gentlemen, listen to Sir Bong blogs. I teach business writing, but I was learning from him. Ay, nako, Sir Bong. In most cases, I also consider hunger for opportunities. Uy, nakalimutan natin yan. Yeah, we must be able to look into that person that she must be able to express it that she is he is hungry for opportunities. In my experience, it's powerful driver for performance and career growth. Those especially late to siguro from within when we are trying to do our leadership development, succession planning, that element of hunger for opportunity. Sometimes candidates from less reputable schools and those that are obviously disadvantaged, these candidates tend to be more grateful. Nako, dalawa na ang pinasok. One is the hungry for opportunities kasi mayroon siyang aspiration. The other one is, thank you, Sir Bong, for this, the culture of gratefulness. Kasi what comes in, that was our discussion with Jam last Monday. What comes with gratefulness is the appreciation. What management is doing to develop you, that person that is actually yung may hunger for opportunity, sometimes from not so reputable school, mayroon sila noon. They are grateful. They tend to stay longer. Yung that sense, I call that, Sir Bong, the sense to stay for a while. Hindi yung fleeting butterfly. Yung gaya ba sa, what do you call that? We have that in OD, that you are a butterfly. Diba? And that you deliver better performance. Yes. You know, that is what I mentioned. When I was in Inquirer already, I was getting from Bulacan, from Laguna, and then they're still there. Pero yung talagang sobra naman talagang ambition. You know, I would like to discuss what Sir Bong has shared with us. There is a big difference between yung sobra ambisyoso and yung naman may hunger for opportunities. Ay, ako nandun siguro ko sa hunger for opportunities. Kasi may rami naman dyan, sobra ka-ambisyoso, na talagang they really move from one company to another. Then we go back to Ophel. Thank you, Sir Bong. I am always thrilled to see a candidate who knows more than I do. Ay, nako. You really have to be seasoned to really be that one. Kasi sometimes, dun din yan sa recruiting manager. Na para bang, this is a joke, ha? There are some companies na when you look into the organization, walang maganda. Or medyo slow. Kasi yung bench, yung basihan, yung recruitment manager. Oh, it's a joke, but it is happening. Yung para bang ayaw kumuha ng Inglesera kasi the recruitment manager has some difficulty in what you call his communication. Ayaw kumuha ng maganda kasi nga affronted. Can we go back to Phil? I like that. I'm always thrilled to see a candidate that is great and who knows more than I do. This is great as well. I will be learning from the new hire. However, there are some hiring managers that are intimidated, right word, by candidates who seem better than them. A manager doesn't have to know everything. Learning comes from all levels, not just from managers. Yes, we have to leverage on the diversity, as Ophel mentioned earlier. What the positivity and the possibility from the millennials, they know some aspect better than us. Technology, for one, and understanding diversity. So when there is somebody telling us in interviews that they are so articulate, do not conclude that they are smart, Alec. Maybe because of the situation now, they can express better than us. They have different experience. Thank you. Josie, usually HRS has a provisionary period. By this, they can able to spot the most potential ones. Yes, this is why it's in the law. It has to be actually 6 months. It's a probationary period. But you know, sometimes what we miss operationally, we don't evaluate them before they become regular employees. You can advance or make it later, but the point there, Josie, is that we must really evaluate. Then we have from Rina, hiring managers must I'm so engrossed with our conversation that I forgot that we have a break. Okay, the rec, can we just have the poster wherein we invite them to all the various TNC shows? By the way, I will be ending my season on Saturday. I'll have a couple of weeks to have a break because I'm so busy with my webinars. But come March, we'll be back on air. So from U-turn down to one day, log on or visit the page of the new channel so that you can watch the various shows of TNC. So I am TTH if you have to look at it, and there is Mondays, Tuesdays shows. Okay, can we go back because this is a very inspiring. Can we go back? So let me see. We ended that with Rina. Can we spot on Rina? Hiring managers must be trained also how to go about interviewing right. That is right. That was a year ago. I had a, what do you call this? Competency-based interview technique, which is a STAR technique for ECO. But we should really, hiring managers must really be trained so that they can formulate the right questions to assess candidates objectively. Remember that decisions are still made by hiring managers, not recruitment only. Then we have Jennifer. Can we, before we go to our next issue, Jennifer also, I was fortunate to have been given a chance by my first HR manager, even though I did not have the educational background and experience. No, Jennifer, it's not that. HR, it's an art and a science. It can, if you are really, you have the heart for doing HR activities and programs, you can do it. But of course, you also need some guidance as far as the technology, the technicalities, and the processes are concerned. I will always be grateful to him. It would be nice if you can mention that. Josie, one most attitude is the sense of urgency attitude, one who has a teamwork to achieve the goal. So you are mentioning here urgency and teamwork. So those are the competencies that hiring managers must look into. Pero nga Josie, that the hiring manager must be able to craft questions na it can really surface. Then we have Carmine. In some cases, a candidate's skills may not be at the level that is required of them coming in. But if there is high potential and value, culture, and motivation match perfectly, the hiring manager could decide if what is lacking is trainable. Kaya importante yang pivotal, ang very key ang position ng hiring manager or can be developed, which becomes the hiring manager's responsibility with the support of the training team or department. We have done this in past with great results. Yes. So it doesn't mean that you are going to get the perfect applicant, but you can really get what you call potentials. Wherein, of course, it should match on your immediate needs, but you can already see that this person can be honed and can be developed. And we have from Serbong Austero again. I think it is also important for HR people to have a more accepting and tolerant attitude during the interview. I love it. Sometimes the problem is napakadikahon. Yung napakadikahon ng mindset ng hiring manager. Na yung we lack the heart, accepting intolerant. Screen in and look for good points rather than screen out. What a nice advice. Diba? It's not actually fleshing out. It's actually screening who can join us. And that is a mindset. Often the so-called diamonds in the rough surface only in an enabling and empowering interview. Oo nga, Sir Bong, siguro ako na yun. Sometimes you do not see me. I am always seen as a rough stone. But I like that. The diamonds in the rough. In my 6th season, the first guest will be Sir Bong. And we'll be talking about this. And then, Some HR people are too critical and judgmental during the interview. Yeah, as I mentioned, sa looks. Just imagine if there is somebody who can speak English so good, they're intimidated. Intimidated. Can we go back to Sir Bong? And then, attitude is to look for reason not to hire, rather than the other way around. In my experience, those with failing grades, but with yes. Ayun mo, Sir Bong, I was also a professor and a teacher before in Sambeda, in Latran, and you know, that is right. Yung may mga failing, these are the people that are actually successful now. This is what we call my grit. Ang mahirap lang, we were not able to identify that potential. Okay. So much with that. We'll go back to this. Thank you for your sharing. We are going to share this because very valuable yung ating mga insights. The next one, I have another here, but Engineer Lito mentioned in the post, asking us, what are HR transformation programs? Am I right? Am I right? What is that? What transformation programs should we do now? Should we implement or should we conduct now that we are in the pandemic? So that is the second item that we are going to discuss. Yeah, everybody is talking about transformation, moving forward, bouncing forward. But I think Engineer Lito here, who is an owner, a developer, would like to know what interventions. Nandyan si Sir Bong, that's why I'm very careful with my terminologies. What interventions should we do to conduct and implement transformation of our human resources now? Oh my God, Femery here has something to say. Can we spot on Femery? My best friend. This is a spot on. This is very much aligned to the talent development framework, which puts the individual at the center of the organization, not the other way around. I think what Femery here is mentioning is what Sir Bong, past President Bong of PMAP, has commented. Very much aligned to the talent development framework. So, Femery, can you now join us? Kasi Engineer Lito here is asking us, what transformation intervention should we do now that we are in this situation? I have here a question, but we'll do this next time. So this is just like, what can you share? What can you share on how can we transform people now? A lot of speakers mentioning transformation, summits in PMAP, ECO, PSTD. But let us really go into it, because the engineer here, I am very sure he's managing workers, engineers, and he's asking us what transformation intervention that should be done. I will start. Maybe, in my own little way, maybe you can do learning sessions. Maybe an awareness of values, a review on values, a review on maybe a strategic planning session after the strategies were done, cascading it. That is another transformation intervention. Or having an emotional intelligence learning session so that they are aware of what are the elements of emotional intelligence, and then they practice it. Or the simple 7 habits, Covey's 7 habits. These are what transformation intervention. Can I ask from our season, Martin Menes is also here. Help me here, Ophel, Rina, Jennifer. You know him. The engineer here is asking us what HR intervention or what programs shall we do now to really make sure that people are changing. You know, just the mere fact of letting them understand that there is a need for agility. Agility. Pwede na yon, engineer, that can be an intervention. Pero ang mahirap nga, how can you, what is that, how can you make sure that people are really changing, are really transforming into something better? Help me here. Uy, si Sir Jerry Plana is here, ha? Create a need for change. Nako, idols ko na nandito. Femery, Pipi Bong, Jerry Plana. Right, create the need for change. Oh, engineer daw, create the need for change should be the first step in transformation. So, is there a need for change? Tama na, tama talaga. So, siguro alam ko yan, developer si engineer, is there a need? Can you feel it? Magano ka muna po, mag-needs analysis. What is it? Mag-culture. What is it that you want your organization be? Yung from point A to point B. Am I right, Jerry? Yan bang ano natin? So, before you go into any intervention, makikita muna what is your desired point B? Para bang dito sa bahay, ito yung aming sitwasyon, what is your desired? So, you have to analyze that and then create the need for that. So, you would like to have a point B, then create the need that all of us should go into that point B. Right? So, dyan muna mag-uumpisa tayo. And then, yun nga sinasabi ko, then we can have a small training. But if you ask me, kasi nakikita ko rito si Pipi Jerry, create a sense of urgency for the transformation. Pangalawa yan. This is investors in people na po ito. Engineer. What you can do siguro, you can select from amongst us who can be your personal consultant muna kasi you need somebody to whisper to you. And then, Pipi Jerry is already telling us, first, the need for the change, and then create a sense of urgency that you have to transform. Right? Kaya nga, para bang everybody in the group feels it, na oo nga, dapat tayo magbago. Di ba? Kasi nga, the company is actually having losses. People are being reduced. The manpower is reduced. The employment are terminated. So, dapat mag-change tayo. And some of us are already taking more responsibilities because of the streamlining. So, dapat you build a case. Am I right, Jerry? You build a business case so that there will be an urgency. Can we spot on Jennifer and then Ophel? Jennifer, a line manager needs to be quasi-HR manager. Create meaningful employee experience. O yan. That is an intervention na. So dapat, I am doing it now for a construction firm. It's basic supervisory, but I'm more inclined into their emotional intelligence and their having a heart, their behavior. Yeah, one can be, make sure that you have your, competent leaders that can actually implement the change. Ophelia here has something to say. You're correct, Jesse and Pipi Jerry Plan. It all starts with a strategic plan. Where does the organization want to go? How to get there? Then the transformation program can be designed. Yun, engineer ha? Lako. Yes, it's our farm season. Mag-ano ka muna, mag-strategic planning ka muna, and then part of the strategic planning, di ba, if you go on Baldridge, this is people, operations, market, and finance. Pero under people, hindi lang yung manpower, workforce plan, pero titingnan mo rin siguro rito yung culture. So what is actually the plan? So para bang we are in the VUCA stage and everything is actually very uncertain. But when everything comes, when the vaccine is here, what is it that you want to be? What is your organization, your construction firm would like to be? Diba? So, Grace, ako, nandito yung lahat ng mga, I am now a strong advocate of team coaching. Oh, call Armelito, tawag natin si Grace. To team coaching, to drive teams to be high-performing team. What is the end goal of the company? By way of team coaching, competencies have been definitely by ICF last November. So dapat may team coaching. So that can be one of the intervention. Pero this should be properly designed. Kasi baka naman may information overload. Pero you start first with the need, then you start first with the urgency, and then that it is the strat planning. From Josie Duran. Director Mabin, because of this conversation, I don't anymore see what is in my phone. And Director Mabin is taking, sorry, sir, I have to cut you because you are so engrossed in the conversation. Well, anyway, that is me when I am a Scorpio, and when there is a conversation, I am so passionate on it. Okay, so from Josie, ang sabi the engineer, what is the vision and the mission of the organization? Kaya dapat may mission and vision and values with the desire and needs of the employees, or focus on for profits only and not considering the welfare of the employees. Kaya kailangan yun sa strat plan. Revisit your vision so that that can be the foundation of what will be the culture. Then from Grace, or have the investors in people assessment. Nandito po si Mr. Jerry Plana from Grace Moniz Decena. She is actually requesting some framework, and IPP framework is good. Then from Jennifer, sabi niya, I wasn't aware, she's going to look for ICF. From Femery, can we spot on Femery? Yes, from Femery, I would add, what is this all for? Diba? What's the organization? Razón de Tres. I don't know if I am pronouncing it properly. What happens if the organization ceases to exist? Where is the individual in all this? So, yun na nga, when we are transforming people to join us in our vision and mission, and in our desire to achieve things, then these are the things that we have to ask, so that we can build a business case, so that we will know if there is urgency, so that we will be able to express if there is a need. What is this all for? Diba? I don't want to mention it anymore. I cannot pronounce it, Femery. What happens if all the organization ceases to exist? So what is his role in the culture, in the company's vision and mission? What is his contribution? Why is there a need for him to transform? Amalay mo naman, pakialam ko. So that is, this is actually OD. This is an OD issue po. From Carmine, hello, Marvin Sanchez. From Jennifer, another Scorpio. Yeah. From Grace, sure, let me know. Yeah. So nice conversation. One or two more on this. So the question is what HR can do, what intervention can be conducted so that we can be assured of transformation. I know PP Bong is listening. That is why I'm actually selecting my choice of words. That is what he taught me last Sunday. Now, so what should HR do? And thank you, my idol PP Jerry Plana, telling us to create first that business case, that sense of urgency, that need. And thank you for telling us, then you go into what you call strategic planning. Thank you, Josie, for reminding us, then you have to be reminded of your vision and mission. And thank you, Femery, for inputting. Then ask the people, even you, engineer, as the owner of your construction firm, what is this all for? Why is it that we are transforming? You can just select engineer from us. Somebody should really be facilitating this. Kasi mahirap kung ikaw ang gagawa kasi you're all in the thick of it. Diba? PP Jerry is here. I can do this. PP Bong is here. Femery. But siguro ang pinaka rito sa amin with a framework is the investors in people. Successful transformation are, can we spot on Jerry before I came on PP Jerry? Successful transformations are inspired by inspiring purpose. Nako, libro ang sinabi ni past President Jerry. For all of us here, successful transformation are inspired by inspiring purpose. Kung hindi inspiring yung purpose, ay hindi naman yan talaga engage, hindi inspiring. So for all of us, maybe in organizations, in companies, let us try to look into, kasi may oras, it's just nice to see. I had that experience in Inquirer, which I really thank Ma'am Sandy, when we changed our mission and vision. I was taught that it should not be vision first. Kasi nagdiwa VMM. It should be mission first, and then the vision, and then your strategies, then your goals, and then your objectives. Core strategies, then your objectives, then your goals and objectives. And then we changed it. Diba yung the balanced news, what is that? Balanced news, fearless views. We changed it to telling the Filipino story. And it's so difficult to cascade. But we know when you are able to understand it, it's so nice. It's so inspiring. What is why you can find Inquirer writers that they're so pervasive, they're so bold, because they align to the mission of Inquirer, which is telling the Filipino story. Mega Wide, Mr. Saavedra, their mission is to have a first world Philippines, very strong. But that is so inspiring, compelling all the workers, all the engineers to work hard with excellence, because what they have in their mind is to come up with a first world Philippines. Next time, yan ang pag-uusapan natin about what Jerry shared here, inspiring purposes. Because if you really go down into it, that is what really compels people to work. So, Engineer Lito, take it from Jerry, Transformation, inspiring purposes. It can help craft this purpose. HR can help craft this purpose. We have here from Jennifer Noya, more than the monetary rewards, millennials look for meaning and very true. Very true, Jennifer. I have a friend. Nag-quit siya sa job niya. You know why? Sabi niya, Sir Jess, HR siya. I don't like to work in a company that has, what do you call that? Carbon footprint. Hindi ko nga alam yung Jennifer. Ha? Just imagine giving up a job because mayroon siyang purpose in life. Sabi niya, yes, I would like to work, but I like to be engaged in companies that they do not have carbon footprints. Ganun po ang mga millennial ngayon. Ganun po ang mga millennial ngayon. Love it. And we have here from Aldrin. Aldrin, thank you for joining us. Is it really the time for change? Oy, Aldrin, koroting kita dyan. Talagang align kayo ni Pipi Jerry. And then Kefemery. Di ba? Malay mo, nag-pandemic lang, and then everything is talking about VUCA. I like you, Mr. Stanley. Di ba? Bouncing forward. Pero ang tanong, is it really the time for change? What change and transformation you want to achieve? Ay align kayo ni Femery. Friends talaga tayo. Is it applicable for the individual, for the business, for the organization as a whole? Malay mo, there is no need for change if you really have a nice culture already. It is just trying to be, it's just inspiring them. It's more of your supervisory, it's your leadership skill. Kasi malay mo naman pinapagbago mo yung tao, you're molding them into monsters. Kaya ba, ang analogy ko yung mag-asawa ka. You fell in love with a woman because you love her for what she is. Now she's your wife. You're trying to mold her into another. Ay, nako. Tama ka dyan, Aldrin. Is there really time for change? Are we equipped? Ay, nako. Ang lalim ng tanong ni Aldrin, nakakainis. You would like to change, but are you equipped? Na-equip mo ba? Are they ready for the change? These are just some of the things to consider from the HR standpoint. We can do initial counseling before any implementation. I love you, Aldrin. Very seldom that you, pero spot on talaga. Spot on. Kasi, di ba, it's time for us to make our dreams come true. Time to change. Or is there a need for change? Kasi naman, nice question. If you're really an ongoing business and everything is all right, people naman are really cooperative. Try to see, baka you just, ito na nga, yung mga change management, but you don't really need it. Jennifer here, carbon footprints. Si Jennifer. Carbon footprints, the amount of dioxide released into the atmosphere as a result of activities in particular individual, organization, or community. Yeah. I will tell you, i-PM ko sa'yo. I don't know if you know, we both know her. She's a very good HR person. She just left a promising career. Kasi sabi niya, I cannot anymore accept it that I'm working with an organization. Kaya, alam mo yung mga purposes natin, tingnan natin mabuti. And Josie, God's wisdom must be sought indeed these days. Oh, of course. Wala dito sa PP Obet, ha? And si Maricor. Spirituality, of course. In all of this that we do, in all of the things that we do, of course, you always have to go back to your spirituality and to the superordinate, diba? Guidance from heaven. Okay, it's already 1:15. Thank you very much. Can all of you be around on Saturday? It is actually HR Moments. And I would like you to share what were the insights and learnings from HR Moments that I will mention. Pipi Bong, please. Pipi Jerry, Ophel, Femery, please be with me. Carmine, Jennifer, please be, June, Sally, and Aldrin, please be with me on Saturday, lunchtime. And it's just a light moment. But last time I was telling them, what was your experience on your first day? And then I got lots of sharings. I'll craft something on Saturday so that we can share our HR moments. Then later on the sixth season, we'll change it. Moments in HR, and these are recognition. So I want you to be always around. Yes, Josie, Happy New Year, Happy Lunar New Year. But let me conclude first. Yes, wonderful sharing from Season HR, and this first from Aldrin, a little bit first of soul searching, counseling, try to see, does it really need for us to change? Of course, in the Bible, it says a time for reaping, a time for planting, a time for harvest, a time for whipping. Is it the time for that? Next, from PP, Jerry, that sense of urgency, that sense of the need. Then from family, you go into the individual who is going to transform. Baka nice to have lang eh. Then, of course, you do a lot of interventions after that. But before, you really have to go back into your mission, your vision, your purpose. The purpose will spell if you need changes to reach your goals. Wonderful Thursday afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, I am humbled with your presence. This episode will surely be shared, and we really value what you shared to the HR community. Thank you very much. Diyos mabalos po, si Rebustillo po ito. Salamat.